maybe you've had one of these questions. Am I becoming my chart? Is human design, am I using it to understand myself, or am I using it to define myself? Or maybe is human design turning into another label that I live within or inside of? Like human design is the label. And there's like specifics, can and can'ts, especially within the cult of human design. There are a lot of rules. And for someone with a marketing background who is fascinated with collective groupthink, group consciousness, and tribal consciousness, and the effects of marketing and packaging on said consciousnesses, human design fits really into that category because it has been packaged really well to make it look like something with authority and that it's something that you should live within and follow these rules, especially the more that people have invested tens of thousands of dollars into becoming a practitioner or a human design analyst. It's just really good marketing. And then they bought into it. Okay, anyways, it's groupthink, group programming. It's like how to make a program to hypnotize the collective consciousness, all right? That's what marketing is. A lot of people fall into marketing. I don't know if you've ever bought anything off a TikTok shop and then you bought the thing and you're like, man, they really sold me on it. But then every now and again, you will find that piece that's like, oh, yeah, this was totally worth it. I'm really glad I bought this. And it's worth it. It's worth it. So human design, it is one of those things to learn it and understand yourself through that lens is worth it, but making sure that you don't confine yourself to live within labels. And I've said this in other videos, especially other videos like this format, where if you find that it starts to box you in, just scrap it, throw it away. That information will always sit on the back shelf in the back burner. That was in my other video. Will human design unlock your potential? I'll probably link it up here or here. It's somewhere on the screen. Okay, just for later. You can go back in my videos or whatever. It's fine. Okay. All right. So now that we've understood that it's such a hot topic because everyone's like, oh, what can this do? It's new. It's hit the mainstream. And then you get a dime a dozen people who are trying to capitalize on it, which is fine. It's fine to do. Everyone's trying to make a living doing something. I mean, I guess that's me. Like, don't buy my thing unless it's ready for you. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna scrap that. Okay, anyways. So what is human design and how can it actually benefit you? Understanding this information so you don't live with inside the labels or, are you becoming your chart? You are not becoming your chart, okay? When you were a child, you probably more were in alignment with your chart. And then as we learn to be in the tribe or the group collective consciousness, and we learn cues and signals from our peers and classmates and teachers and parents and relatives to be able to start to put yourself in a box because oh, that wasn't socially acceptable. Oh, ooh, I'm embarrassed. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's when you start putting masks on and you forget what you intuitively know and you put this mask on to fit in more to society, to fit into the world. So your chart will actually help you remember who you actually are at the core of your being before you put on all these masks, and conditions in order to fit in with the world, right? And so with traditional human design teachings, it's kind of like that phrase, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's so much information. There's an encyclopedia. Ra just ended up generating information, more information, just so much was just spewing out of him. How much of that is actually applicable? There's pieces in there. There's pieces. There's the baby in there the baby is in there, but like a lot of it is bathwater. A lot. Especially like the PHS of the inner architecture of the arrows. Some of it is, it's definitely helpful. There's a lot of babies in there. Babies with the bathwater. There's a lot of babies in there. But it's like, it's information. And you're like, oh, wow, cool. Help you see the pattern, which is what I aim to help and do. It's like, see the pattern in your life, but don't become the label. You are not becoming your chart. You are remembering yourself with the help of looking and knowing your chart. Okay. All right. And so, and I love listening to the heretics. I mean, people can get really fanatical about taking like what human design as dogma and like gospel. They can take it really literally. Like, I'm a projector. I'm not supposed to work. And so I'm going to be unemployed forever. However, I was seen and recognized and was invited into a job that I'm still at 4 years later. Granted, it is part-time. It is in marketing and advertising. And with my graphic design background, it's a hobby. I love human psychology. I like Don Draper from Mad Men, although I don't like his manipulative ickiness, but I like the human psychology that gets people to buy stuff. Although, here's the thing. I'm a terrible salesman. I am not tribal. I do not have a lot of tribal stuff in my chart. There's certain like circuits within the chart that are tribal, and that's like for goods and services and supports and stuff. I don't have hardly any of that activated. I have like one. I have one in my Pluto. I have one tribal gate. No, I'm sorry. I have 2 tribal gates activated. But it's not like getting the goods and services out into the world. So I'm like, and you're gonna resonate with my stuff. You're gonna buy what I have. I'm like, I'm not gonna sell you it. That's just how it is. I do have something for sale, but I don't know. You're smart. You can figure it out. If you really want something from me, I'm working on that. Okay. So the core reframe is you are not your chart. You are remembering how you are, tapping back into your inner child before all the layers started putting in to make yourself fit in. You're remembering yourself through your chart, through the information in your chart. Okay. So it's embodiment over information, mental, tell yourself. It's grounding that information into the body, into the whole package, the whole holistic body, mind, soul, essence, together, working together within this dimensional space that you were born into and that you will eventually leave and exiting and then go be your eternal, everlasting self. Okay. So understanding yourself through your chart helps your body and your mind remember who you actually were, who you actually are at the core of your being, and tapping back into normal things. So, and tapping back into things that you used to do as a child. Like, for example, I looked at a chart and baby was just born. Mom is a reflector. And when I looked at her chart, she was a mental projector, meaning her throat was connected to her ajna and the crown. So what's crazy, I asked her mom, does she talk a lot? She's a baby. She's like 6 months old. Is she speaking a lot? And mom sends me a video of baby in the stroller, like making all kinds of noises, just like baby talk. And I'm like, make sure she keeps doing that. Like, this is how, because she's on a stroller walk, she's processing the world around her. She's making sounds in order to process the world around her. She's getting information in through all of her open centers, the bottom of her body, like definition. She's getting all this information in the centers, pulling it in, processing it through her definition. This is where she's here to learn, right? Now, as she gets older and as she grows up, this would be a perfect example of maybe she stops talking because, I don't know, she was caught talking to herself and no one else was talking to her. And someone said, this is all hypothetical, right? I'm just giving you an example of how this could happen. She's talking to herself at school or something, and she gets made fun of because she's talking to herself, because that's how she processes the world. Because she got made fun of and then she was rejected by her peers, then she might stop talking or really refraining herself from talking to herself so she doesn't get made fun of again. And she's like, maybe that wasn't supposed to be what I was supposed to do. Oh, I didn't know that. She conditions that conditioning or that condition of being liked and accepted by her peers. So she stops talking to herself, but then she stops being able to thoroughly process what is going on externally. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that can build up over time. And then that's how you start getting distanced from yourself, right? That's how as you get up and grow older, that's how you start distancing, or that's how you can become conditioned. And then one thing for her to do and to practice would be then it's okay to talk to yourself and have full-on conversations out loud to yourself if you need to. Totally fine. Processing what's going on, throat, ajna, just to understand the external world around you that you find yourself in this dimensional space. Okay. So then she would be able to use her chart, and everybody can do this. She can use her chart to remember the things that she used to do as a baby. All right. Now that was a totally hypothetical thing. I was just projecting into the future. Okay. But I'm sure that happens. That's for sure. I mean, I was conditioned by all the man-gens and generators around me to manifest, go manifest your desires. And I did. I tried doing that. Was not invited into the space, was not invited at all. Terrible experience. And it wasn't until I held back that I started getting invited into stuff again. And then our very successful house-sitting nomadic career, I guess you could say, live by the invitation. We get invited. Our track record is phenomenal. It's this is just the niche that we found ourselves in, and very successful being invited into situations. Now, granted, I'd make a profile and post ourselves out there, but I had to take some action. I also have another video on, does rest mean to stop trying? And I completely reframed rest. So definitely check out that video as well. One of the human design babies that you have to take out from throwing out the bathwater is that it's about allowing the body to lead, paired with your soul and your G center, to lead forward and make decisions and navigate life, right? Instead of the mind being I should do this. Oh, this is what I should do. This is what everyone else is doing. I need to, it's it literally is called the science of differentiation, but ironically, traditional human design became more of a groupthink with a bunch of rules, but the irony. Anyways, so it is all about forgetting the groupthink, stepping out of the tribe, and moving to the beat of your own drum, right? Being your own individual. This also ties back into the law of one, where individuation is how we evolve and progress as souls embodied on earth, and how we elevate our souls and how we elevate our consciousness, being in the physical body and being individuated and differentiated from groupthink consciousness. You have to be a full person, a complete holistic person, body, mind, spirit, soul aligned. So essentially, it's learning your chart helps you remember how to live in alignment with your chart. And then that's where being in a flow state, and then things manifest easily because body, mind, soul is all aligned. And because this groupthink, tribal, monkey mind wants to tell you this is what you should be doing. But instead, it's listen to yourself and be okay with being the black sheep. It's so crazy because I've always been the black, became the rainbow sheep, the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, just walking the opposite way of the herd. the herd goes this way, I'm like going in the opposite direction. I'm like, whatever, I don't agree. But I think it's just because I've had a lot of inner practice of just listening to myself and listening to me. So I am the only one that knows what's best for me. That's it. And the same goes for you too. You are the only one that knows yourself the best. No one else knows you better than you do. And you ultimately know, and even here's the thing too, like you ultimately know what's going to get you to where you want to be. However, you're like, oh, what if I make the wrong choice? Okay, there are no wrong choices. Even if you take a detour and you go in a different direction, you will always end up in the direction of your destiny. You might have a little detour, walk around, but you will end up getting there. It just might look like a little roundabout way. What does remembering actually look like? Remembering embodiment, you get more tapped into your intuition. You integrate puzzle pieces, you put them back together. You see how they connect. You apply the patterns into your life. You recognize the patterns. You see the connecting dots. You start to trust your body signals again. You start to pay attention to how you feel or what you see, or in your inner vision. You start to pay attention to what's happening inside through self-reflection and just paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. And then it also becomes less mental management. Like you can, let's say, for example, you have a hard time listening to your thoughts. Do I pay attention to my thoughts all day long? No. I have projects. I have to think through the projects. But at least at the end of the day, when I have some time to myself, now if you have kids, I'm sure you will still find time for yourself. And it's also really fun because you can apply this to your children too. And if you're in a family unit, this is perfect. This information is so useful. If you find yourself with a family, you know your kids, you know yourself, you know your partner, maybe you're a single mom, but within your children, you start to see the interconnectivity and how you all play out together. It's really fun. And you start to see the pattern. You start to integrate the pattern. So remember, this is the key to remember. The information that you take in, integrate it fully into the body. See how those parts and pieces connect to your already previous lived experience, or maybe a memory surfaces from your childhood. You can remember seeing how this plays out. And then you don't have to think about it. It just essentially shows up in how you move and navigate through the world in your life experience. So, and then this is what you need to totally watch out for, and how it starts becoming an identity and a label and a restrictive limit. When you start taking the information and make it be a rule book and dogma, and it starts limiting you in what you can and can't do, it's like, oh God. I hate to use this reference, but it's kind of like restrictive eating. It can become a disorder, right? Restrictive eating can become a disorder because you're looking for something to control in your life. And so it might be easy to, if you have a control issue, or life has become too crazy and you're looking for something to control yourself in order to create a greater outcome. If you're looking for control, you will you can easily latch on to these labels and this as a rule book in order to create more control in your life, because it's something that you can actually actively manage. It's as if you are constantly referencing this information and you're like, oh, I'm not allowed to initiate. Oh, I'm a projector. I am not allowed to speak until I'm spoken to, because that's the invitation. No, oh my God, that is that crazy. No, that is not it. No, live your life. So when you start to take on these labels and you turn it into as your own gospel, your rule book, but this is what I can and can't do, it is essentially doing the opposite of what human design was automatically intended, which was take the information, embody it, remember it, connect it to your patterns, find pattern recognition, come back to your inner child, who you originally were when you first born or came here. this information can easily hijack your mind again and be like, this is what I should do. So then you start listening to the mind instead of incorporating it into the body, okay? Incorporating it into your body holistically, looking at it as a whole picture. And so you need to stop taking the chart and turning it into a rule book, but instead it's just a guide to help you remember who you are. And then like as soon as you can like separate those two, if you find that it's becoming a rule book, just scrap it, throw it away. I don't even, just forget about it. Live your life. Live your life. Okay? Forget about all the information. Just forget about it. And then you'll start to remember to put yourself, you'll start to unravel naturally. Okay? Labels are not bad. They're like little definitions like, okay, I'm a projector. I wait for the invitation. I can offer invitations, which is sort of like initiating. I can do that, but I don't have any expectations. That's the one thing that I have learned to just accept. I'll offer invitations. That is the way I initiate, but I don't have any expectations on how or what is going to come from those invitations. Like, you know, it's kind of like cold calling. Like as a salesperson, which I did for a short period of time, terrible, hated it. It was awful, cold calling. You're going to get like 50 rejections and then one person will be like, yes. And I was like, why are you giving me money now? It's like, anyways, labels are helpful. Humans can cling to labels for safety. It makes you feel like it makes you understand yourself, makes you feel good. And then you have some sort of identity and belonging. Like, let's say, for example, you found out you're a reflector and then you're like, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, I totally make sense now. Wow, that's why. Oh, that's why it's like that. Okay. Or, oh, I'm a manifesting generator. Oh, and even those labels, oh my God. Just, it's like they're helpful as like an overall and arching energy definition box. It's like the number one. Or what's like another good example? I don't know, hockey player. Okay, you start to identify with being a hockey player. And then like there's all these things that you need to do in order to be a hockey player. Like you have your gear, you have your training time, you have like your games. So then when you say hockey player, you think of all the things that go along with being a hockey player. It's the same thing like with manifesting generator, manifester. It's like this group of traits, these characteristics that then like you can use the definition. So it's like, it is helpful because like you use the words, they define things, like you use the definition to help you. Like, for example, okay, like gate 49, right? There's a whole theme and energy behind gate 49. And I can just use the number. It's almost like shorthand. My grandmother knew shorthand. It was like the quick way. It's like a whole other language in order to write fast. And like the shorthand was like how you wrote it was like a truncated version in order to write the notes fast. And it encompassed a whole meaning. So it is helpful because like you understand the themes and patterns, but it's like gate 49, it's like this whole energy picture. It's like this whole sphere. There's like so much that is interconnected. Like, think about your job and the title of your job. And then if you say, this is my job title, think of all the other things, think of all the other things that go along with your job title. Okay. It's like that. So this is like where the human design language and the identity and labels can come in handy. And they're actually able to orient you and other people and the people around you. And I mean, honestly, if everybody could just like know their human design within like work teams, within families, oh my God. So many miscommunications, or even like, why do they do it like that? Why is she? It's like, hey, we're all different. This is the science of differentiation. We're going to appreciate everyone's strengths and differences. And then that's how we all are the puzzle pieces interlocking with each other to create a better society and all this like interlocking, interweaving tribal culture in a healthy, non-toxic, healthy way. Okay. Another big thing. Human design is an operating system. It's an operating system. It is an OS. It's a .os. Human design .os. Operating system. It is energetically encoding your DNA based on the time you were born. And it's the energetic architecture allowing you to interface with everyone else in the world and allowing your soul, your body, the interface to, that's how we interact with each other. Because we are all individual pieces interacting with each other. And this gives us the framework for our soul and themes to experience what we came to do here in this world. Okay. It is not, is it your personality? Astrology definitely helps you with your personality, like astrology at its core. And human design does incorporate astrology. It's just like this other additional layer. And human design is not who you are, okay? It is how you run. And it just keeps coming back. It's how we interface. Like it allows us to interface with each other. And allows us, and it gives us some strengths. It also gives us some weaknesses. Gives us strengths and weaknesses in order for us to help with each other. Like this is it's how we become healthy, interlocking pieces. Okay. So the solution, I'm gonna give you a set of questions for you to self-reflect, ponder, just to see where you're at. I mean, it's so interesting. It's like, oh, it's like human design. It's like this way to know myself. And yes, it can do that, but it can also pull you back out of your body and into your head with chock fulls of information that is just unnecessary bathwater for when you wash the baby, which are the gems within the human design information body. There are babies, there's gems of wisdom in there for you, but you have to see, is it becoming restrictive? Is it confining? Is it limiting you? Because if it is, throw the bathwater out. Throw it out. Toss it. Get rid of it. Take what you want, take what you need, and discard the rest. Because it can easily be pulling you back into your head. It's the monkey mind. It's you're like going back into like, oh, get into your body, where you're bringing your consciousness, like your mental consciousness into the physical body. It's very useful. Like you take your consciousness, and when you're putting yourself in all these different positions and body movements, you're bringing your consciousness to like the inside of your foot, right? So body scans are great for this. Like, for example, I actually have, in my crash course, I have several body scans that are designed. I even have like a free Reiki centers meditation, like where you go over the centers. It's basically just body scanning. Like take your consciousness and put it into your body, like yoga nidra. Do some yoga nidra. Put your consciousness into your body and then see what's happening in there. That's just a great way to take your consciousness and bring it into your physical body, right? And then that starts to overlay, because everything is holistic, everything is connected, everything starts to overlay with each other. And then that's how you start to know that, for example, fear and anxiety, this is nuts. I can tell when it's fear, false evidence appearing real, it's anxiety. It's all in my head. Where do I find this? Where do I get this location? Where do I feel it in my body? It's up here. It's all made up. It's fake. But when I have an intuitive hit, like a real like premonition or something like, oh, I should actually like pay attention to that, it comes up from down here. Like it bubbles up from down here. It comes from here. So yeah, I mean, and this probably is like, you can probably do this with like working out too. I would do it more, not necessarily like weight training, but maybe like animal flow, any type of movement, any type of like moving meditation where you're bringing your consciousness into your physical body. I would recommend doing that. Just to have like a daily practice, right? That actually helps more conscious embodiment. So you just bring your consciousness, your third person observer self, bring it down into your physical body. Okay. that allows for more trust, trusting yourself, trusting what information you're gathering from your physical body, and you're less, in order to make decisions. I have definitely fallen into the restful flow state, like in order to take action. If it's I'm inspired to take action, if I want to take action, if it lights me up and I'm inspired to do it, then that is my flow state, and that is restful action to me. Okay. And it's like less mental management. I do initiate projects and work. I offer the invitation to do it, and then it works, and I do it. So I keep doing it. Just learn these things about yourself, and like you will naturally, the more in alignment you are, you will naturally fall into these spaces. And so you can just like use human design to validate, oh, I'm in alignment. If I'm out of alignment, how do I get back into alignment? Like that's where it like comes in handy. So human design and the final tie-in, you are not the label. You are the one using the software that is the human design operating system. You are the third person consciousness that's observing your life and your personality and your ego and your physical body and in your interactions with everyone else around you. And remembering leads to the embodiment of the flow and aligning with who you actually are. And then that further leads to self-trust, and then trusting your instincts, trusting your inner knowing, which then allows you to absorb the labels, absorb the definitions, integrate holistically the information, and you can take the gems, the babies within that information. You throw out the bathwater of all the stuff that's not necessary, and you get to make it your own. And you get to decide, because you are a sovereign being with your own authority outside of the labels and outside of the whole system. And you get to see how that applies to you. You can see how it applies to you, and you get to be the one that you're the authority. It's not this external system. That's the one thing I want to convey. You are not, the external system does not define you. You define you. And you see how the external system applies to you and how you can make it integrated where it does not define you. It's just something to be aware of that helps you get back into alignment. And the minute it starts becoming a dogmatic rule book, throw that shit out the door and out the window and live your life in sovereignty and see how the information will come back and resurface. And that is that's probably the best thing I can tell you. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, I have a free sign up for my email list. I'm having it linked below. Send me your questions. I love you. Put that in my queue. Until next time. Do.